everyone, and welcome to the Captain's Video Blog. We are Monday, January the 4th, 2016, wow, this year started with a bang. Yesterday morning, really early in the morning, we learned that a very known singer here in France had died. Today, a very known actor has died. He was 93, but still, he was still in plays last year. So, I mean, you couldn't have thought that he would die so early in the year, but it started off with a bang, really. Let's not forget about Zinedine Zidane being put in place of Rafael Benitez at the head of Real Madrid. Yeah, he's the new coach, Zizou. I'm not entirely sure that it's a good idea because if one person exactly has said some good things about him, it's not the person I would have liked to see saying good things about someone. It's the former coach of the national team, of the French national team, who went to the finals of the World Cup in 2006, but didn't even go through the first round in 2010. There were the players didn't even recognize his authority because they stayed put in a bus in a what remains a very infamous page of French national team's history. He said, "Yeah, it's gonna go well." Why would you say something like that? Oh God! I mean, everyone knew that Zidane was the one with the authority in the French national team in 2006, and it wasn't the coach. But yeah. Anyway, yeah. 17 years ago was the finger poke of doom. So if you don't know what the finger poke of doom is, it's basically, if I recall correctly, it's Hollywood Hogan, so Hulk Hogan, in WCW on Monday Nitro at the George Dome live. It's a very important thing that will come up later. And he comes to the ring. I think he challenges Kevin Nash for the world title, and he pokes him with his index finger, and Kevin Nash just falls to the ground. You know, like he flops hard, and Hogan, I think, puts his boot on his chest. 1, 2, 3, he's the new champion, something like that. But definitely pokes him, bam, and the rest is history. Because when Hogan and Nash and the NWO get out of the ring, Tony Schiavone, the announcer of WCW, says, "Yeah, you know what? Don't think of switching channels to the concurrents, you know. Raw is taped, and guess what? Mick Foley is gonna become their world champion. That puts some butts in the seats." Yeah. At this point, you could feel that that wasn't the best thing to say. You know, Mick Foley has been running after the title for so long. He's been screwed over by the corporate asshole for so long. You're giving people reasons to watch Raw. What just happened, and now that, I think a few minutes later, when they go back to on air, he says, "Yeah, you know what? Raw is fucking. Raw is pre-taped, so we already know how it ends, and there's no way it will change. Unlike us, because you know, Mick Foley is gonna become their champion. Mick Foley, Cactus Jack, the world champion. Fucking ridiculous. At this point, Tony Schiavone sounded like the worst smark ever, and I would know something about being a shit smark, because I sometimes am very, I have some heavy criticism of the project of the WWE, and except I've never been involved in pro wrestling, nor will I ever, I think. I mean, I would like to, but I don't think I can. So yeah, when Tony Schiavone, who is the announcer of WCW, says, "Don't watch Raw, it's all canned, and you were already losing the audience. The Monday Night Wars were already not swinging in your favor, and now you say that, but why? It's like you're suicidal, man." And surely enough, after like 80 weeks of Raw trailing behind Nitro, well, it was already starting to change. But at this point, WCW never recovered. Like, well, everyone will watch Raw, and that was the victory of the Attitude Era, really. When in 2001, so 2 years later, WWE bought WCW. Didn't buy the contracts though. That was a shit idea. Like Sting, Hulk Hogan, Ric Flair was coming anyway. But the invasion. The idea is good. The execution, not that good. Like, I mean, most storylines that revolve around people taking over never goes really well in WWE, at least. And that's sad, because at one point you'd hope that, yeah, they're finally getting their head out of their asses with that, but no, it's not happening. But I mean, yeah. Anyway, the other day I was watching some rugby, and it was really funny seeing this small dude, the referee. I'm talking about the referee. He's talking. He's going to talk to the players, who are big, muscly dudes. Like the referee might be my size or even smaller. I'm like 5'9", 5'10". The referee might be a little smaller than me, and there's these big dudes who are like over 6 feet, and they're full of muscles, and they say, yeah, all right, sir, yeah, of course, yeah, sure, yeah, all right, okay, and we have this awesome player in France, well, this awesome former player who's very much a specialist of rugby, Daniel Herrero. This dude was, he looks fucking crazy. Like, he looked like a dude in Survivor. Because he's got this headband, this red headband, and this disheveled look. But he had done some videos about the history of rugby. He was like, rugby is very much the sport of the upper class in England. Everyone says that it's a sport of hooligans practiced by played by gentlemen. Because it's a very physical sport. Like, there's always everyone talking about football and rugby and football, American football, gridiron football, and rugby. What's the tougher? I will say that it's rugby because they are rarely taking breaks. The match is 40 minutes for a half, and the clock goes on, so you cannot stop and say, yeah, we're gonna organize this play for like 40 seconds, and then we're gonna snap the ball, and you will catch it, and then you will be tackled, and then we go back to stopping the clock, and that's how a hour-long match can go on for like 4 hours. Yeah. I thought about timeouts, because timeouts don't exist in more European sports like football or rugby or handball, because it's not handball. It's a German word. It doesn't work like that. Yeah, and there's a lot of referees in American football. It's really impressive. Like there's one referee on the pitch, and there's all these referees around the pitch. Whereas in rugby, there's a referee on the pitch, maybe 2 on the sides, and one who controls the video. Because officially, he's a ref. Yeah, and they are all rather small dudes, and they're like, yeah, you're gonna stop with this attitude, because I will kick you out of the pitch. And everyone's like, yeah, sir, of course, yeah. Do you want me to wash your clothes, or maybe brush your shoes? I don't know. No bribing, goddammit! Yeah, because there's no little penalty in rugby, you know. A penalty can be a penalty kick, that's possibly 3 points, or it could be a scrum, and if you lose, well, you're fucked, because you've got like 7 of your players there. It's half of the team. Or it can be a yellow card, and a yellow card is 10 minutes out of the pitch. So if you fuck up, there's one less man on the pitch. For 10 minutes, sure, but some matches have turned around in the 10 minutes they were, one team had fewer people. Like the quarterfinals of the 2007 World Cup between France and New Zealand. At one point, one player, I don't remember which one, gets a yellow card, and it's during these 10 minutes that France turns the match around and goes to win by 2 points. And they've, you know, like the last play has lasted the whole 10 minutes. The All Blacks, where the whole team was on the 5 meters line, and that was like, whoa, boy. It's really, really tense, and still France won. You know, like at one point at the end of the match, when the clock reached the 80th minute, the ball came to them, to the French players, and one just decided, yeah, well, fuck that, I'm kicking the ball out, and that was the best decision, because it was the end of the match. So yeah. Anyway, today was me going back to school. I went in the morning, and holy shit, my apartment was cold. So yeah, it was really a relief to go outside. Like I spent the whole night with the fan heater on, and it was cold as fuck when I woke up around 8:30. I know that your body isn't really good at acclimating itself when you spend even 2 hours under a cover. Yeah, I spent 2 hours under a cover. But to be fair, I slept from 1 a.m. to 4 a.m. Before, so I couldn't really be sleeping the whole night. Yeah, so I was like, yeah, I'm gonna, even if I'm gonna be late, I'm gonna take my breakfast fucking and fuck the fuck out. which was a good decision. But then, so yeah, for 4 hours I think, between 9 a.m. and 1 p.m., the fan didn't turn, wasn't on. When I got back to my apartment, turned on, and I slept the whole afternoon. So I kind of missed the opportunity to call my grandmother because today was her birthday and she's probably sleeping at this point. With the fan heater on, when I woke up, it was barely mild, I will say. I turned it off like 30 minutes ago and it's already getting cold again. And I'm like, well, fuck that. You know? I don't really like this whole cold atmosphere thing. I know that it's something good for the environment, not heating your home, but it's the isolation it's so bad. Do you want me to die? Please don't put yes in the comments. So yeah. Anyway, I don't have a lot to talk about really. Yeah. Today was well, not today. It's gonna be out in stores like Wednesday, but the magazine that had been attacked last year has revealed the cover for their special edition. You know, Charlie Hebdo, and they on the front page, on the cover, there was a caricature of God, like the white Christian God. Because what? Why do you represent a God that's been revered by a dude who was from Palestine as white? Why would you do that, Christians? Please answer. Please respond. It feels weird. It doesn't check out. So yeah, when he has this long beard and this toga and the triangle with the eye on his head, so of course it's God. And he's got, I would say, a Kalashnikov, because I'm not entirely sure, but yeah, they say, yeah, the murderer is still on the run after the attacks, and people have been very, very offended. But at this point, they're really looking to be offended. Like, that's crazy stuff. You're probably meaning it, but you're being a little bit too sensitive. Like, people have already criticized the hair trigger sensitivity of Americans, but now it's translating here, and it's not good because I mean, we aren't even a country with a state religion. It's written in the Constitution now since 1905. Still, people are getting offended because I'm criticizing my religion. You gotta get used to it. People were even doing it before it was legal. Well, that's kind of the things when you're the country of the human rights. Doesn't come with a little box of chocolates to say, hey, please have some. And we won't criticize your thoughts. That's not how it works. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you tomorrow. Goodbye.